What is up, everybody? You are watching Nerdy Couch, and this is my good old co-host, Rob Lee.
How are you?
Hello, Rob Lee. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's good to be back. And today is a bittersweet video. Because what are we doing?
We are wrapping up Arc 1 of Something is Killing Those Children.
I've really enjoyed this book so far, and we're excited to talk about how it all wraps up. So,
maybe we'll find out what's new for young Erica Slaughter.
Yeah, I don't think we should keep anyone waiting. I think we should just pop right into it. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Because of the nature of this book, we've got to pop up a bit of a warning.
There might be some killing children.
Yeah, this video sometimes has some content that is not so suitable for a younger audience. So, you have been warned. All right? So, if you've been reading along, I think you'll, enjoy the little bit of a wrap-up video here. So, let's start off here. We've got number 13 with a beautiful cover, with Erica trying to fight her way through some of those monsters. What a lovely cover.
Yeah, I noticed the mask is ripped there too. That's a really cool effect.
Yeah. You don't see that often. Book starts off in a bit of a, one of those manners that we would warn you about. All right.
Some crunching and munching and some
good old crunching and munching. Before we get started, let's just invite my big old brother. How you doing, Rob? How you doing, Rob Couch?
Shotgun.
Am I going to rap? I won't. I won't say I'm not going to rap, but I'm probably not going to. If I do, I can assure you it won't be good. But the thought's out there, right? Rob's not doing too bad. Says he's happy. Well, it's good. It's good. We're happy to have you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, only moments earlier, this book starts off with a little bit of munching and crunching. Nom, 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 nom. I think he's munching on Aaron there.
He is indeed.
Rob says, when I got in, I thought I heard you say that you were rapping. No, we're going to wrap this up, Rob. Going to wrap this arc up in this episode we have here. I didn't call it an issue, so we're good.
We are good. We're on track.
I think he's munching on Aaron there in the parking lot of the old school.
Mm-hmm.
And we get some of the other members of the House of Slaughter. And one of them in particular is kind of just sitting there in front of the monster. The monster roars at her. She says, "That's right. Keep looking at me," kind of drawing her attention drawing the monster's attention. Well, another member, they all have white masks, these ones. These are the ones that are working under Cecilia, I believe.
Yes. This is an interesting, this shows Erica's revelation that they don't care about people.
Yeah,
it's one of their own, and she's just sitting there watching the monster eat him.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to distract you, and I'm not going to show any emotion.
Just using his body as bait right now.
Yeah.
Another one of those members comes up and slashes him. And the monster roars in pain as another one comes up, slashes his leg off with a sword. Monster goes down, and you can see them all standing around now. What I found interesting is that, it's not like they're using guns or anything like that. It's one person's got a sword, one person's got a knife, a baseball bat, a pipe. They're just gangsters.
Naruto running with an axe there.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed the axe guy. I mean, how could I miss axe guy? Axe girl, sorry. I think that's a
Oh, yeah.
female.
Yes, it
Because
is.
that's the one that was sitting on the ground. She
Yep.
runs up, gives it a big chop in the head. So one monster down. She's slashing and hacking. All of them are giving it to this thing, and it's just a bloody mess now. They're pretty satisfied with themselves, I would say. What seems to be the leader of this particular crew says, "All right, nicely done. Nicely done. We took one down, guys." It looks like she does kind of check on the body for a little bit, you know. Diagnosis, dead.
Yeah.
She grabs that mask and says, "I'm keeping this." Type deal, almost like a little trophy of some sort, right? One of the others says, that I'm going to call him baseball guy. Says, "What do we do now, Maxine?" Or "What do we do now, Maxine?" It's all about the way you say things, you know. So this is Maxine that's grabbed the mask. You know, there are still 3 or 4 more of these things out there. You know, we can't just, you know, they can't just stay out in the open like this, right? Leader of this group says, "Let's go say hi to the locals." Like they're still in the school parking lot, so they're right close. She says, "Remember what Cecilia said. Full containment means we can be as bloody as we want to be." They're having fun with this.
Oh, yeah. She's not friendly hello in these locals.
No, not at all. Cut back over to where Cecilia is, and we left them off where she had just sliced the throat of that officer. I can't remember his name at the moment. He's kind of trying to hold it all in type deal, and kind of just gulping and gulping on his own blood, I'm assuming, right?
We find
Sorry,
out
that sounded graphic.
We find out Cecilia's first name is Jesus.
Yep. She says, Erica says, "Jeebus, Cecilia." She says to Jamie.
Is it James?
Right?
James.
What's James? Jamie.
Yeah.
I was close. That's pretty good for me.
That is.
Yeah. Definitely ruthless. Coach. Yeah. I'll take that as a win. Definitely ruthless, Rob. This whole book's been like that. "Monica, fancy meeting you all here," she says.
Wow.
You know, it's nice to have you here, darling. I call all the people who come in darling. This is not She-Ra, we'll just warn you. Oh. Erica says to James, "Oh, I just got ahead of myself, didn't I?" The fumbles are coming early today. "No, I'm not going to rap." All right. That's a whole nother video. She says, "Don't look." James says, "Okay." And then she yells at Cecilia, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Cecilia replies with, "There are consequences, Erica. Consequences to not following order protocol. Don't for 1 minute pretend that these deaths are our fault." They just don't want to take responsibility over anything.
No.
Right? They're, you know, that shows the mentality of the whole order.
We're here because you screwed up.
Yeah, they don't want none of these. We're going to kill a bunch of people, but it's not our fault.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to enjoy it, but it's not our fault.
It's all on you.
Erica says, "How dare you?" Cecilia replies, "You're the one who allowed this situation to spiral out of control. You are the one who disobeyed the orders of a direct superior and let him die. You forced our hand, and we do not like to be forced." She says, "One of these days, I really hope it sinks in for you that it wasn't the death of a few dozen kids that brought the entire branch down here of the House of Slaughter out of the House of Slaughter out of Chicago. You came here to kill people, not monsters. So she's saying you didn't come down here to save a bunch of kids. You came down here to have a slaughter fest.
Yeah.
You know, you don't care about the kids. Cecilia replies with, I came here to fulfill my duties and uphold the security of the order, essentially, to continue so that it can continue to operate in the world. If they don't keep some sort of wrap on this situation, then they can't operate in secrecy, and she says, and that does save children. Erica says, when was the last time you even saw a monster with your own two eyes? You've been in the background for so long.
Yeah, they're just coming to do their little cleanup.
Yeah. So she doesn't even deal with the monsters or anything like that. She's just, she sits around a table and orders people to do stuff, right? When was the last time you even saw a monster with your own two eyes? Cecilia says, this is over. We're taking the children to finish the job that you started. But you won't be here because the old dragon wants a word with you. In the last episode, that was Cecilia's orders the old dragon ordered Cecilia to bring her back alive, essentially. Right? I'm putting you in the car under armed guard until you're safely back at the slaughterhouse. So that's the plan. They wrap it all up, and Cecilia goes back to get into trouble, essentially, right? And out of the blue, which I didn't think he had much fight left in him, but the officer can't remember his name. If anybody could remember his name, put it in the comments. He still kind of can't talk much, but he, at last-ditch effort, grabs his gun and fires a round into one of the fellas, but is stopped by another soldier of Cecilia's army. And I don't know if maybe it looks in that last panel like he might put one in her too.
He definitely shot someone there.
Rob says Officer Doogie.
Doogie.
I'm cool with that. Officer Doogie's kind of taking some last-ditch efforts to take some of these guys out. Blam! He fires one into her gut. Cecilia says, don't you dare. Comes over to him and says, trust me. Or no, I think Officer Doogie tries to mutter the words F you.
Yes, I think he does.
I think that's what's going on there. And she says, trust me, the feeling is mutual, as she slashes one last slash through looks like straight through his face.
It does.
Excuse me. He goes down like a rock. I think he's actually done now. Officer, a moment for Officer Doogie. Thank you, guys. Sad moment in this comic book. And I don't know whether she meant to actually kill him, because she says, shit.
I think she looks up and Erica is gone.
Oh, is that what she's replying to with the, oh, shit? You might be right. Maybe I just needed to skip another panel to find out. Yeah, she's gone. And she has taken the kids. Burn. Bane and James are gone with her. Erica says, Bane! I'm going to carry you, okay? She says, all right. And right coming up here is where you really find out, or I mean, you knew it already, but she's trouble now. She's a troubled child now. All right. Erica says, James, You know these woods, right? You know, how well do you know these woods? James says, I don't know. I don't feel so good. Am I gonna die?
I think that shotgun wound is opened up there.
Yeah, all the running and whatever. Erica says, not today. Not today, James. She says, your house is off the ravine, right? Do the ravines all connect? James says, oh, I mean, yeah, they connect and feed out into the lake. Erica says, can you find your house from here? Or from the bottom of the ravine? Yeah, I guess I can. And he points down the ravine, and he says, I think that swing set is Mikey Tomlin's backyard. He had a birthday party back in grade school. I don't know how all of this is relative. But he's a couple of streets over from mine. Good, with a little pat on the head.
Yeah.
But there's no one home at my place. They've all been staying at a hotel. She says, even better, man. We need the room if we're gonna do this and get it done right. All right. James says, what are we doing? What are we gonna do? We're gonna play a little game, Erica says. Bane says, is John dead? So that must have been his name.
Yeah.
Mr. Dookie's name, John Dookie.
John Dookie.
She says, is John dead? Erica replies with, yes.
Very
and
matter
Bane
of
says,
fact.
yeah. Bane says, that's too bad. He let me bring all my colors.
Hmm.
You know, she's taken it fairly well.
She's seen a lot of death. I think she's numb to it.
Yeah, she's broken.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, he was nice. Back over to the schoolyard. That leader of the white mask crew,
Maxine.
she's talking to the people inside the school. She says, we know you're in there. Why don't you all open up the door? We don't have to make a big thing about this, you know? Meanwhile, she's holding up a phone. It says, find another way in, to the other crew members. As she speaks more to the people inside, I can see the shadows of all of your feet. Don't pretend I can... don't pretend I can't hear you talking in there, type deal. Or don't pretend you can't hear me talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the school, the sheriff says, what do you think? To Tommy. Tommy replies with, I think they look fucking creepy, is what I think. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
Officer says, they're like Erica, right? They're like Erica's people. Tommy says, I don't think she's like people very much. I don't think she liked people very much. Speaking of Erica's attitude, her no give a shit attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff replies with, do you have her number? Any way to call her? Yeah, it doesn't seem like she'd be a easy person to get a hold of.
No. That and the House of Slaughter has disabled all the internet, all the phone service.
Which is why Tommy's mom comes over and says exactly that. Service is totally dead. And then
Wolverine shows up.
Scrunch. Officer yells, fucking hell! Some of the people in the school, some of the parents, Who turned out the lights? Sheriff Kavanahanahanamadana. That's a tough name, all right? What the hell is going on here? Sheriff says, y'all just stay calm. Everybody stay calm. Wham!
Wham!
At the door. Wham!
Wham! It's George Michael.
See, I was hoping somebody would say something like that. What the hell is that? Sheriff says, and then wham! Again at the door. You have to be kidding me, the sheriff says. Tommy goes, shit.
Yeah, they're trying to wake me up before I go.
Yeah. And then, kapow! I don't know. I made that one up. I thought it was fitting. As a car comes through the school doors, and that white, I don't want to say white leader, the white mask leader comes out, and she says, everyone gather together in the center of the gym if you want to get through this alive. So a little bit of a threat there.
Yeah.
Just to say we mean business, you know?
Everybody round up in the middle so we can kill you easier if you want to get out of here alive.
Yeah, Monica, that's why we throw up a good old warning, because between like bloodshed and language, this book is not for children.
No.
I mean it's pretty implied in the title, I think. So but yeah, the language in this one I find fun, but it's not to be taken lightly.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody in the center, Tommy whispers to his mom, Mom, we got to get you out of here, man. We got to get you gone. And you see a picture of all those gang members standing around as Tommy's mom says, Tommy, I don't think there's anywhere to go. All right. But people are killing the children. Maybe now that's intended, but originally it was the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She says, I don't think there's anywhere to go, Tommy. And I think at this point they're kind of noticing Tommy and them talking. I might be mistaken, but they are all kind of gathering around, kind of imposing a threat. So now we are back at the scene with Erica and the kids. She says, or I believe James says, this is where it started.
Oh, this is his house?
Yeah, I think they're now in his house. He explains that they had a slumber party and, they were watching some dumb movie and he can't even remember the movie, he said. And Tyler said that he wanted to play a game of truth and dare. Truth or dare. It's going to get you into so much trouble. Right?
That game never ends well.
No, it doesn't ever end well. The dares, they just keep getting more and more risky. Erica says, sorry, I know this must be hard. James replies with, it's okay. I just want it to be over. Erica says, me too. I really want this to be over. She says, okay, this is going to be dangerous and more than a little scary, but I need both of you to answer every question that I have honestly and directly. It's part of the game. She says, we will lure the monsters in and I'll finish the job from there, okay? Both the kids say, okay. James is a little out of it still.
Yeah.
Erica now talking to the octopus, which we haven't seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
She says, look, I don't want any of your crap, okay? Now how bad it's gotten, and that we need to get it done. We need to get this done. We need to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Octopus says, I know, in some creepy voice, I'm assuming. All right. Erica says, good. Now show the children your real face. Now, if this doesn't scare them, and then out of that octopus comes that almost looks like an illusion of a monster that we saw back when we first were introduced to this octopus.
Mm-hmm. In the hotel room.
Yeah. Erica finishes it off with, now, let's begin.
So it's supposed to be that ritual they were talking about in the last couple of issues.
Yeah. So that's the way I'm really trying not to say episode. That is the way this issue ends off. I thought it was a great issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
finally get to see what Erica meant by, oh yeah, these people don't care about people. They're just here to clean up a mess. They don't care how they get it done.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just
you really get the feel of how the organization works, right? So yeah, and you know, really feels like they're driving it into a closure. So you know, these last 3 issues that we're doing here, just a really great feeling on them. So we're gonna pop into the next issue, which is 14, I believe.
Yep, number 14.
And Rob, how about you take it away for that?
All right. So, issue 14, we've got, looks like Tommy trying to hug the ghost of his dead sister here. But it seems that she is coming out of a stuffed animal. So, that's where I got a little bit confused, because that right there looks like Tommy and his sister.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's a little creepy.
That would insinuate that somebody was introduced to the House of Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how that happens, I believe. That's what I get the impression of.
Yeah, because I can't see that being anybody else.
Yeah, that's what it appears to me. Seems like everyone in the House of Slaughter has that ghost in their stuffed animal. So, but we'll have to see if that ties into anything.
Absolutely. So we see Erica's companion monster here. Looks a little impish, one eye, like the octopus has got one eye missing. So does this guy. And even Bane, you know, what is it? And James takes off his glasses. That's Erica's monster. Like, that's her backup, her help in killing these things.
We have to remember from that earlier issue that is the monster that killed her family.
Yes. And it doesn't look too happy to be forced to help here. So, of course, Bane says, I don't like it. And she tries to hide behind Erica a little bit. Erica says, that's okay. I don't like her. I don't like it either. Why does it look like that? It's scary. She says, some of the other kids in the order made their monsters look pretty, but I didn't want to forget what it was and what it did to me. So, of course, Bane wants to know, what did it do? It killed my parents and my friend. And, Bane just still not really reacting the way she should. She says, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And Erica says, yeah, me too. And Bane asks, kid question here, is it still dangerous? And the monster itself responds, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So definitely a little creepy there.
Yeah.
But a little reassurance there. She goes, not to you, just to me. So I'm assuming because of that connection and that she's got it trapped in this stuffed animal, it's still a danger to her, even though it knows, as soon as it can break that spell,
Yeah.
Erica's going down.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm gonna sneak away for just a second. Keep going.
Yep. So James puts his glasses back on. Erica. And she says, I need you to sit down. Either sit down. Oh, I need you to sit on either side of him and lay down and close your eyes. So I think this is the game she was talking about. Little sort of seance. So we call this the game of nowhere. We're learning to play it early at the House of Slaughter. It's a game of imagination. I'm going to need you to both listen to my voice very closely. I'm going to ask you to picture some things in your mind. I'm going to need you to keep picturing them no matter how scared you get. So James is like, yeah, okay. So I want you to imagine that you're in a void, a big empty white space. Lying down in that white, like you are here in the living room. So you can see that in their minds, they are just in this nowhere kind of thing. You're not too warm, you're not too cold, you're very comfortable. You can feel yourself breathing in and out. And as you breathe, the whiteness breathes too. As you breathe in, the white starts to darken and black. As you breathe out, the black turns back to white.
I like this game.
James is visualizing, he's breathing in the blackness and breathing out more white. And it gets a little bit more intense. And he's just in his mind floating in this void. He is ready to accept her questions, I guess. And Bane, I want you to keep breathing while I talk to James, okay? Keep picturing the black and white as you breathe. So, James, back at the beginning, you told your friend Tyler about the monster. But had you imagined it before? He says, yeah. So I need you to remember that exact moment that you first imagined the monster. The family computer was in the living room. Smart move. Right next to a window in the backyard. I used to sneak down when everyone was asleep so I could chat with my friends on MySpace.
Yeah, that's like every teenager.
Yeah. I'd keep the room dark so it was just me and the light from the computer, which was bright enough that I couldn't see out the window next to me. So you could see the monster is seeing his images in his mind, studying them. I started imagining, what if I turned off the screen and there was a big face right in that window with long nails scraping against the glass with long white teeth? And, just thinking about it, I got so scared. And I stayed up all that night till 2 a.m. Then I left the room and shut my eyes and ran.
Yeah, so this is where I feel that the idea of the monsters was, born.
Mm-hmm. But just that you can, what if there's something out there and it manifests into real life is
just that slight bit of fear hatches, an idea that manifests into something big.
I really like how they double panel this one image.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then you told Tyler. He says, yeah, I slept over at his house the next night and told him the story, but it wasn't the real story. I told him I heard something and turned the computer lights off, and that's when I saw it. Because I remember in the first issue, when they're playing Truth or Dare, he says, oh, yeah, I turned out the lights and this huge leg was in my front yard, and I turned the light on and it scared away.
I like how in the next panel, you can start to see that in the window.
Mm. So we spent the rest of the night daring each other, turn out the lights and look in the woods. So Erica sees the image too, I guess, in the window. Now I want you to hold that image in your head.
Starting to manifest now, right?
Mm-hmm. Keep that image in your head, and the monster the monster you were afraid to see, the monster you described, carve it in your mind out of the black and white and hold it there. So while he's doing that, she sees an image of what his imagination saw in the window. And don't lose your focus. Keep the pictures in. Let the image get sharper. And Bane starts to get a little
Uneasy.
upset. Like, finally.
Yeah,
Says,
no kidding.
It's okay, Bane. Just close your eyes. And she goes, it's not okay. It's the mama. The mama wasn't nice like the babies. It was mean. So Erica calms her. She says, I'm not going to let it hurt you. Do you believe me? Yes. Yes, she says. So Bane could see this image in the window as well.
Yeah.
So when Tyler told you about the monster, could you picture it in your head? Because Tyler went home the next night and said, oh, you think you have scary stories at your sleepover. Let me tell you one. So the monster, Erica's monster, is still looking at, I think that's the window over here. So he's still looking at the window, studying it, I guess. So I want you to remember how you imagined it, what you pictured when he described the monster in the ravine. What did you see in your head every time you thought of it and got scared? So she says, I saw, and you can see her peeking out the one eye there. That. And
just snarling and screaming.
So Erica's monster has recreated this image that was in Bane's head, which is the same monster that James created in his mind, with the many eyes and the jagged mouth. I don't even think they're teeth. I just think it's just the face. It's just
like molded into teeth.
An eating machine.
I think Jarvis is throwing his ball at my door again. I'm hearing some bounces off the door.
So even Erica's monster looks a little bit
taken over by it almost.
Yeah, like possessed by the image. So we're back to the school here, and I think that's Maxine there. She says, yeah, because she's got that thing on the side of her head. Okay, so I know you all heard me. Now that I want you to act like you heard me. Moving to the center of the gym. As she's holding this knife up, like, you heard me. And they've all got their weapons ready here.
Yeah. Start listening or we're going to start doing damage.
Yeah. We're going to have you each turn out your pockets and empty your purses and bags. We're taking all your phones, cameras, anything like that. Then we can figure out what we're going to do with you all. So Sheriff says, you're in charge here? Yeah, I'm in charge. I've done everything your friends in the mass told me to do. I don't want you treating these people like this. You know, they've been through enough. So Maxine, is no nonsense as Erica here. The other people in the mass aren't my friends. They're the ones who got called in to pick up their mess. You are the mess. We're here to pick you up. Empty your pockets.
Yep.
And Sheriff is like, yeah, I'm the sheriff of this town. I'm in charge. To which Maxine says, and I'm going to bury this axe in your neck if you don't do what I tell you to do.
Yeah, she's not very friendly.
So back to Tommy and his mom here. You know, Mom, I'm sorry I couldn't get you out of here. And he gets interrupted. His mom is totally ignoring him. Says, what are you doing? It's her. There's Sophie Mahoney, the body bag.
Hold on, I gotta go take care of my dog. Apparently, he's throwing balls at my door.
So she bends down, opens the body bag, and sees Sophie's dead, open eyes looking at her. So she starts crying, of course. You know, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I wish I could trade places with you right now. I wish you could have had the life you deserved, like any good mother. Yeah, so Maxine's like, you know, are you deaf or something? I told you to get in the center of the room. Like, why playing with his dead body here. So Tommy steps in, defends her, says, "That's my sister, her daughter. She came to say goodbye, so she's saying goodbye." So I guess Maxine's a little sympathetic there. She doesn't try to bury the axe in the side of his head. Just give me your phones. So he hands over the phone. He says, there you go. He says, "What about her? She's not calling anybody."
She's not calling. I would call the Ghostbusters.
So she gives a little reprieve here. You got 2 minutes to say goodbye, then you get with the rest of the people. Got it? So she obviously doesn't know that this is Erica's work here, that he could see the monsters, that little scratch with her dagger. So back to the James's house here. James is freaking out because
he's not having a good time.
This monster's real again. It's back. So she calms him down. She says, "It's okay. It's just Octo. You shaped him into a copy of the monster, or the mother monster. It killed my friends. It killed them right in front of me. And it's right in front of him, like he thinks." Mm-hmm. "I know, and we're going to stop that from happening to anyone else here tonight. So, James, I need you to watch Bane."
Bane.
So the monster's gone back into the octopus. She's gone to pick it up. She goes, "Don't let her go. Don't let her get hurt." And out the door she goes, knife in one hand, octopus in the other. Throws the octopus right into
Bet you that felt good.
And you just see this monster roaring, and this ghostly monster image goes chasing after the octopus. It's so loud. It has to be, otherwise they won't hear their mother calling for them.
Yeah. So that's the plan, right?
So recreate the mother monster to lure in the babies. So Tommy says, "Mom, we got to go. Are they going to kill us? I don't know." "Well, if they are going to kill us, if they're just going to kill us, they can come to me. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm just done."
Being a spicy gal.
Yeah.
If they're going to kill us, then why am I complying?
Yeah. Just get it over with. I lost my daughter, my child. I got nothing to live for. So Tommy's, "Mom, I'm just not strong enough for this. Nobody should have to be strong enough for this."
Yeah, no kidding.
She was so good, and that's all that's left her, bones and meat. So Tommy says, "I'm sorry I couldn't keep her safe, but I'm going to have to save you, okay? I'm not going to let you die." She says, "I don't care." He says, "I care. I fucking care. You're my mom. I love you so much. I'm going to do anything I can. You're the only family I got. Dad's a naked dude in the house."
Hasn't worn clothes in months.
You're the only sane one left. So the mother has a little connection there, and he's still like, "This is my fault. I couldn't protect her. I'm sorry. I'm not better." So I don't think they had the best relationship.
Yeah, be better, Tommy.
But I have an idea that might get you out of here and Sophie into a proper grave. So he stands up.
You know what? This is crazy. I did not expect this.
No, it was pretty genius, though. So Tommy gets up, walks right for the sheriff, and the sheriff says, "Tommy, I don't have time for you right now." So he says, "These people, they're here for a cleanup, to make sure nobody spreads the story of the monster in the parking lot." So he says, "Well, what do you suggest we do?" "Give them a better story."
Yeah.
So back outside, the octopus has turned itself back into its Erica's monster. It says they're coming. "I know I can feel their eyes on me." So the white masks are coming for her. They're going to kill you. Which I imagine Erica knows they're not, because if the dragon...
Is it the babies that are coming, or the white masks?
Oh,
they're coming.
Maybe
because they're trying to lure the babies or the
That's
children, right?
Yes, the babies are coming. Yes, and the babies will kill her. You know, shut up and get back in your octopus.
Yeah.
And she's got that same glowing thing on the side of her head that Maxine does. I need to work off some anger, and she's just in a fury. So the babies show up. She goes into some flippy, spinny, ninja moves here.
She does a job on them.
Hacks that one right in the side of the head. Does a flippy spin again. Breaks one's leg. Hits another one right in the side. Little leap. Plunges a knife straight down into its head. Gives it that little twist.
Yeah, I like how they added that twist.
Pretty much in full ninja mode here. Slashes another one right across the jaw, it looks like there. And you see this one has... She must have clocked that one right in the side of the head with a knife. There's just blood everywhere.
It's roaring.
And I like this jumping scissor kick here. Gets it in the headlock. Gives it a twist as she stabs it in the temple there. One comes up behind her. Turns around and just rip. And I think she's got them all.
Yeah,
I hope so.
It appears so.
Looks like she's they got her a little bit there, but she's used to that. She'll just sew that up later. Back to the school again. Sheriff says, "You want me to do what?" He says, "You have to arrest me right now." Dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, this is crazy.
I confess, I killed every one of them. I killed all those kids. And I couldn't help myself. So when you found where I stashed the bodies, I started killing again in the woods. And so the coroner's like, kid.
Jeebus.
And he goes into full hysterics here. I guess he's yelling a bit. And then I killed the little girl in the parking lot right in front of everybody. And all those people saw it. Because if you tell people that they saw something, boom. Oh, I remember that.
You know what? It's easier to swallow than a girl being ripped apart in midair.
Yes.
You know? I must have been hysterical.
So now he's starting to get the attention of the parents in the room. He says, "Do you get what I'm saying here, Sheriff? Because if all those people saw me do it, then there's nothing that needs to be covered up. Isn't that right? Y'all saw me kill that girl, right? You just saw me do it. And then the sheriff arrested me in front of y'all. And that was the end of it. The end of all the killing." So Maxine says, "You're crazy." He goes, "Yeah, that's right. I am crazy. That's why I killed all those kids. I need to be locked up." And so she's not buying his little plan here. She goes, "This isn't going to work. The monsters are still out there, and they'll kill again." As the other ones give him a stern look too, like it's time to take this kid out. There is a cleaner way to end all this. With axes and baseball bats.
Mm-hmm. That's not very clean.
We'll never know because issue is over.
It's not very clean at all. It's a lot of mopping up.
That is.
So, good issue. Lots of action. You know, that whole thing with Tommy confessing to save everybody took me by surprise. You know, did not see that happening. So great issue.
Yeah, so well done that he thought of that. Like with everything that's going on.
He's never really been the brains of the operation.
No.
But like that's a huge sacrifice. Right? To keep everybody alive, to keep his mother safe. to save the town, essentially. That's a huge sacrifice. Didn't seem like Tommy's character at first, you know?
And he's seen enough of these people that he knows that, they're putting them in the middle of the room because
they're gonna.
It's easier.
Their
easier
motive
to shoot fish in a barrel.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was a great issue. Let's get right on to the next issue because I am just excited to be talking about it. This is the cover for 15, which is the final issue in this arc. Got a Erica leaving Wisconsin. Okay.
A little bit of hitchhiking.
She appears to be on her way out, which, let's see if that foreshadows this issue. What do you guys think? So this issue starts off where that fight with the children monster leaves us, and we've got a blood-soaked Erica. She's got some new lacerations and on her arms and stuff. I think that's a new laceration, or maybe the old one opened up.
Mm-hmm.
But she definitely has a lot of blood on her. She seems almost exhausted. And she gets up and she starts walking, I'm assuming, towards the house. It looks like she might have some lacerations on her back from the one panel on the top. Mm-hmm. And there's these monsters all dead around her. She appears to be losing a lot of energy as she walks. She drops her knife and she's holding her side. She's been real torn up on this battle. And she's heading towards the house with blood dripping from her body. She opens the sliding door and comes in, and the kids say, "Are you okay?" As she walks over to the sink and starts washing herself off, just trying to get the blood out of her, out of her hair and off of, try to clean herself up a little bit. Don't want to scare the kids any more than you have to.
Yeah.
So as she's doing that, you can see her still washing herself up. And James says, Is it over? Falling to the ground in a sitting position, Erica says, "Bring me my backpack." James runs to get the backpack, brings it over to her, and she grabs her phone out of it. And you can see that she's calling the St. George. She's calling someone in the House of Slaughter. She says to whoever she's talking to, "This is Erica Slaughter. Get the word out to the White Masks that all of the brood are dead." She wants to get that word out as fast as she can. Mm-hmm. Because consequences, may be happening at the school, obviously. She says, Connor. What? My mistake. Connor of Bridge and Daisy off the ravine. Oh, Corner. I said Connor for some reason. So they're asking where she is, type deal. She says, Corner, Bridge, and Daisy off the ravine, the house where it started. House where it began. Tell Cecilia it's time to go home. And she's sitting there, exhausted, as the kids look upon her. "Can I use your shower?" she says. I think, or no, she says, "I stink."
I stink.
"Can I use your shower? I'm a mess. I stink." Meanwhile, I believe back at the school parking lot, Cecilia's received a call. She says, "Yes, I understand." And then turns that phone off. Goes into the school. What was that girl's name again? The leader? Margaret? Maxine? Margaret? Maxine says, Cecilia, ? Oh, it's the name's right there. Cecilia says, Maxine, stand down. What? You heard me. Maxine says, this kid is trying to take the blame for all of this, all the deaths. He shouted to everyone in the gym that he had done it all. Is that so? Cecilia says. Sheriff Kavanaugh? That was the closest I've gotten so far, so leave me alone.
It is. Pretty good.
I believe this young man just confessed to killing all the children. I think you should make the arrest. Sheriff says, if I do, all of this is over? Cecilia replies with, you need to make sure everyone in the room understands what has transpired here. But yes, that will be the end of this. Sheriff quickly pulls out what I believe were probably handcuffs and says, okay, kid, let's do this right this time. Tommy says, yeah. You know, he knows his fate. He knows what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Cecilia says, are there any school officials here? Principal stands up. Yes, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Cecilia says, your school will receive a sizable anonymous donation that will cover all the cost of the damage of the doors and the walls and stuff. In exchange, you are not going to report this damage. You'll handle it discreetly. Understood? Timidly, the principal says, you understand. Make it happen, Cecilia says. Like Margaret, I can't remember her name ever.
Maxine.
Why am I not? I'm so bad with names. Maxine says, what the hell is going on? Cecilia replies with, the winds changed, dear. It happens.
It happens. So I'm guessing Maxine's a little bit new to the organization here.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to want to. She doesn't listen. You know?
No.
So Cecilia says, we need to collect Aaron's body. We'll leave the rest up to the locals. Destroy all of the phones, cameras, and the cameras that you gather. So they're going to destroy all of them because once the power comes back on and the service comes back on, you know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Tweedly. Everyone else or everything else will be hearsay, and we can deal with hearsay. So rumors are fine, but photos not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine says, this doesn't make any sense. We can't just leave them like this. They've seen too much.
Mm-hmm.
Cecilia says, and who decided to charge in here into the gym, mask up with bloody weapons? I trained you better than that. So it's definitely she's definitely someone that's trained under Cecile.
Mm-hmm.
Question me again in public, and it'll be the worst. Question me again in public. It'll be a decade again before you're back out on the field. Just threatening her with a death job, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
But this is over. 1 week later. After all the dust has settled. What we have here is a newscast. And essentially, what we're getting here, I'm not going to read it word for word, but we're getting a news coverage of the fact that Tommy has confessed to these crimes, and that they've found the stashed bodies, and that he's been linked to all of these crimes and stuff like that. You see people watching at the bar, friends, family, people who might have known him, the sheriff and his brother. Pardon me?
Oh, no, go on. I was jumping ahead of you.
Yeah, you see them all sitting around, and they've all heard all this and stuff like that. And Tommy's been made out to be a murderer, just like he knew he would be when he made this plan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, you're seeing everybody from, people at the school, people who are taking care of Bane, and the always shirtless father.
Yes, but he's got pants on this time.
He does have pants on. And then at the bottom, you see Tommy's mother, and she's having a dart, and she's having a bit of a cry over Sophie Mahoney's grave. Her daughter, she's now lost her daughter to the monsters, and her son has sacrificed himself and going to prison to save everyone. So it's been a hard day for Mrs. Mahoney.
But I'm pretty sure the sheriff knew what was going on. I don't think Tommy's gone to prison. I just think they've put him into like some sort of witness protection program. That's what I'm going to believe.
We don't know for sure. We do see a picture in the corner on the newscast of the sheriff and Tommy. What happens to Tommy after that? I don't think we really get to see too much of that. So we can assume the best for him. Maybe just assume he's a hero. Technically, Tommy Mahoney is a hero. So we've got Erica. It looks like she's walking. I think it's a very similar scene to when she first arrived in town with the billboard and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this is the train station, where she sits down on a bench, and there is the old dragon. He says, "So, here you are again." She replies with, "Yeah, here I am again." The old man says, "Archer's Peak. It seems like a nice little town." Erica replies with, "I'm sure it used to be, just like everywhere else." So I think she's replying to other missions, maybe. Old man still there eating his candies.
Yeah,
loves his little gummy worms by the looks of it. And he says, "I remember when you were just a girl. You got so angry with us at the whole house of slaughter. You walked halfway across Chicago to the bus station, or to a bus." She says, "I remember." "Where were you going? Do you recall?" She says she was going to Orlando. Gulping one of his gummies down. "Ah, yes. The Disney World Gambit. Of course. I remember now. But Jessica. Jessica, don't think have we been introduced to Jessica?
I don't think so.
So I think that's something maybe we'll find in the next arc. Jessica found you and she brought you home. Do you remember what she told you?" Erica says, "She told me that the order was old and it was stoogey and stuck in its ways. But without it, children would die. And nobody would know why. or what was killing them. She told me to learn everything that I could. Learn to save the children. She told her to learn everything she could to save the children. And then the old man says, I do miss her dearly. I miss her terribly. So at this particular time, she's no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
Erica says, you sent her to her death. Even so, the old man says, you're not going to be able to convince me, Erica says. The old man replies with, what do you think I'm trying to convince you of, Erica? You want me to care less, she says. That's lunacy. Why would I want you to care less, the old man says. I wish half of the members of the house cared as much as you did. I just want what I have always wanted. I want to show you some discipline. Our order has honored its methods for centuries to ensure that we can continue to help people. And you could have ended all of that. You could have ended this all at the beginning. So had she done something different, they believe that this could have gone much differently. Much more to the way of the order. She says, yeah, you could have killed Tommy in the cave. She says, yeah, I could have killed Tommy in the cave. Let James bleed out from that gunshot wound and used Bane to bait the trap for the monsters. And then I could have killed her and buried her in a corpse, or buried her corpse. And then I could have killed her and buried the corpse of the other children to hide the evidence. And got on a bus out of town that Aaron sent me to. Just on to the next mission. And nobody in this town would have known and had any closure.
Mm-hmm.
So she's essentially saying, yeah, I could have done something differently, except all of these people would have been lost. They would have not had any closure. Kids will still be dead. Yes, Bane is Batman. This is a crossover issue. All right, this is crossover. That's a comic book thing. Monica thinks she's a big nerd now because she knows who Bane is.
As long as she knows Matt Damon's going to play little kids, all that
Yeah,
matters.
that's it. Don't even get her started. Old man dragon says, you wouldn't have had to kill her. She's young enough that you could have recruited her to the House of Slaughter and expanded the branch, of her family. Erica says, if she was willing to come otherwise, if she was willing to come, otherwise you would have wanted me to tie up loose ends. Don't get me started, Monica says. So the old man says, so what were you trying to prove? Erica says, I wasn't trying to prove anything. I wanted to be there to be a version of this where everybody lived. Old man replies with, but they didn't. More children died because the monsters were allowed to grow and spread. Erica says, they died because you started sending people to stand in my way the second I went off script. So the second she didn't do things their way, they had to send people in to clean it up, right?
Like, don't let her.
No, Monica.
She-Ra's going to be in the next Avengers movie. As
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Valkyrie is going to be
Yeah.
turned to She-Ra.
Yeah. So old man says, "So come home. Come home with us. Aaron Slaughter is dead. You are the last black mask in the House of Slaughter. Take Jessica's seat as one of the heads of our house. Make the changes our way from the inside." So he's offering her a seat at the Justice League table.
Like, you want to make all these changes. You want people to care.
Make them from the inside.
Yeah.
You know, take the seat, try to make a difference from the inside. She's also, this is where we find out she's the last black mask.
Mm-hmm. So Aaron brought her in, I guess. Cecilia trained. Did Cecilia? No, not Cecilia. The one he mentioned before trained her.
Yeah, Jessica.
So that's why he said you could have brought Bane in to expand the Black Mask, your branch of the family.
Yeah, which
probably would have worked because Bane is
pretty messed up. So I mean, she's not going to be a normal kid anyway.
Yeah, she would have fit in perfectly.
Yeah. Anyway, to that, Jessica replies with, "No, I'm not going to do that. Not coming home. Not doing that." "Where is this going?" the old man says. She replies with, "Far from here. Far away from here."
Because the bus is coming.
Yep. He says, as he eats his gummy worms. Erica says, "I renounce the House of Slaughter. I renounce the Order of St. George. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until it kills me. And I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to keep going until it ends me, but I ain't doing it for the Order anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh. Old man replies with, I cannot accept that. That the Order at large will not accept that. The House of Slaughter is only one house of many. So this is where we find out now that there's the House of Slaughter. This is just a small portion of the Order of St. George.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the House of Slaughter. There's many other houses under this order. The Order. So it's much bigger than just this little House of Slaughter. She says, "Then fucking stop me. Stop me already then.
Mm-hmm.
Or stay out of my way." She grabs her backpack and she starts walking away as the old man just glares.
With his one eye.
With his one good eye. Erica hops on a bus. She puts her backpack down and then she hears a voice. A familiar voice. "So, where are we going?" "It's James." She points at him and says, No. No. James says, "Don't worry. The first stop is Milwaukee. I'm going to stay with my mom for a bit. I might change schools even," he says. Erica says, "Yeah, that makes sense."
And you see a smiler, like he's got that closure that she was talking about.
Yeah. So he was kind of playing a little trick on her, I think. He's like, "Oh, where are we going?" and stuff. She's like, "No, fuck no." So James says, "Who was the old guy you were talking to?" She says, "Someone from another life." He accepts that answer. Okay. They they still can't find Bane's family. They think that they might have skipped town when they heard that she was missing. So they're like, our girl's missing. We can't handle it. Off they go. But some lady that works at the police station is going to take her in. So that's good. She's got a new family. Erica says, I know. You've been keeping up with us, eh? Keeping an eye on us? She says, I wanted to make sure that there weren't any loose ends. Kind of trying to play it off like she didn't care, I think. Yeah. But she wanted to make sure they were okay, I think. The bus drives away. You got to do these because that noise makes a difference. All right?
Yep.
Erica says, I was going to write you a letter. No, you weren't, says James. I was thinking about it anyway, says Erica. James says, it's okay, but I'm glad I can say this to you. Thank you. Erica looks at him and says, for getting you shot and almost killed a few times? He says, no, for letting me help. I don't know what it would have done to me if all that had happened and there was nothing I could do.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me something. You gave me something I could do to make things better so that I could help. So he's just glad that he got to be a part of the solution, right? He says, so thank you. She says, thank you too.
That's a nice little warm moment.
Yeah, nice little warm moment.
Because she doesn't look like the affectionate type.
Yeah, no. She's a bit of a hard ass sometimes. So how far are you going? I honestly don't know, Erica says. But I guess I'm going to find out. And that's where this one ends. As you can see them leaving Archer's Peak. A clean wrap up.
Now, on the cover, in this, what are these black things flying around here? Wonder if that's some sort of eerie indication of what's happening next.
I don't know. I just don't know. Some sort of debris. But that wraps up this arc. Next, what we've got coming up is the new arc where we get kind of an origin of Erica. And I think that's going to be a fun take,
Yeah, I want to see where she's going and what she's going to get up to. What kind of shenanigans?
Yeah. How do you feel about the way this wrapped up?
Second read through, I liked it a lot better.
Yeah, I think so too. I felt like it was the wrap up was a little lackluster the first time I read it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling the same way really. No,
because once the old dragon is like, she says, fuck you, I'm out, and he's, I can't accept that, and the order isn't going to accept it.
Yeah,
and there's lots of us out there. So I think she's going to become the hunted. Drag her back in.
Kind of leaves me to believe that down the road we might find a third arch, where kind of like a Star Wars thing, where you start in the middle, then you get your beginning, and then we're gonna maybe get something down the road that continues on to this line, and we see what happens to Erica down the road. And a good point that you just made, where maybe she's going to be the hunted.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And she's the last Black Mass. She said, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Just not going to do it for you.
Just going to do it till it ends me.
Could open up a new house.
Yeah. Monica says Shira would have saved them. Well, Erica did too. Not all of them, maybe. But she did save them, and she didn't need a souped-up power sword.
Yeah, I think Erica would have taken She-Ra down pretty quick.
Yeah, she's a lot meaner, that's for sure.
Oh, what did I just?
I don't know.
start?
You might have started some. The world might implode now because you just said that.
I might have to run and hide now.
Yeah. Well, you're already in the woods. Oh, there he goes. Monica, you scared Rob off. All in all, this series was kick-ass.
It was.
I really enjoyed it.
All I can say is, wow.
Wow. And we'll get into some more of him tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
If you guys want to check us out tomorrow night, we are covering episode 3 of Loki, which has been really good. Really enjoying that too. So check us out at 8 o'clock tomorrow for that.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good time.
And then in probably about 2 weeks' time, we will start the next arc of Something is Killing the Children. That's number 16.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for that.
I'm wondering if we're going to have to go down to Swiftwind. What's a Swiftwind?
Monica, Swiftwind, I believe, is the She-Ra's horse.
Oh, okay. I thought
Monica's
She-Ra's fart.
Sounds like She-Ra's fart. That's great. Monica's aficionado or whatever of She-Ra, apparently, so she knows all this stuff. So Swiftwind. Nice. So guys, I really hope you liked this. This was a wrap up of this arc. Like I said, starting the new arc in a couple of weeks. Join us then. Let us know how you felt about this series as a whole so far. Let us know in the comments. We'd really like to hear your opinions on it. So other than that, catch us in a few weeks.
And
catch us tomorrow.
In the comments, let us know the next arc, since we're so caught up. Issues are coming out once a month. Do we do an issue a month? Do we wait 3 months? Do you like the 3 at a time?
Yeah, let us know how you want us to proceed with this, because we very well could do 1 issue at a time, because we'll catch up pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple episodes out. Issues. Dang. So, other than that, guys, we've had a lot of fun, and we hope you did too.
Yeah, I'm very glad we'd read this. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I have the slipcover hardcover slipcover edition coming my way once it releases. I've liked this series so much that I've bought in the exclusive hardcover of it. It covers the entire 1 to 15. So yeah, nice. Enjoying it so much that I did that, and I'm excited to see that. I'll show you that when I get it. Anyway, guys,
we're gonna piece.
Oh, on the thing, yeah. So Nev's epilepsy fundraiser, as much as it's still going, prizes are done, and I will be drawing those prizes hopefully on this coming Tuesday. So you will see a posting come up stating when that's going to be. So we do appreciate everybody who has donated. Feel free to keep donating. It's a great cause. We really want to try to get as close to our goal as possible. So let's try to help out as much as we can. So thanks for mentioning that, Rob. I think that's all.
That is all.
So guys, thank you for joining us. We had a lot of fun. I'm Nerdy Couch.
I'm Rob.
Signing off. Bye-bye now.